Hey everyone, welcome back to my chatty, sassy corner here on YouTube where I talk about all things luxury, be it luxury fashion, luxury travel, or life's luxuries in general. So today I'm going to be talking about a controversial topic. And I've had some people ask me to do my take on this, so that's what I'm going to do. And it's talking about fakes versus dupes versus inspired. And I have different feelings on all three of these. I will be sharing them today. There are a couple of things that I want to get out up front. First off, I'm sorry if what I say offends you. I am sharing my thoughts and my opinions. It's not my intent to offend anyone, but I do understand that that can happen. Second is that luxury goods of any sort do not make you better than anybody else. The only thing that matters is who you are as a person, not what is on your person. Make sure to comment down in the description your thoughts on this topic, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, why, and with that, let's get started. So the first thing to say about fakes, and the thing that we cannot get around with fakes talking about, is the fact that fakes are illegal. Buying them is illegal. Selling them is illegal. That is a fact. I'm not going to sit here and say that I've never bought a fake handbag. I have bought one fake handbag. When I was 17 in New York, I never carried that bag. I felt bad about that decision basically after I did it. I ended up a couple of months later just throwing the bag in the trash because there was no way that I was ever going to carry it. And it was something that I wish I hadn't done. I'm not going to say that I hadn't, but I will say I never carried that bag and I regretted it instantly. Now, 10 years later, we know a whole lot more about the fake bag industry. And these are things that I did not know at the time. Had I known them at the time, I definitely wouldn't have bought the bag. And that is that first off, the fake luxury industry is one of the biggest criminal industries in the entire world, but it also goes to fund things that are a lot more harmful than fake handbags, and that is things like the drug organizations, that is things like human trafficking, and a whole host of other just horrendous, heinous acts that I in no way want my money going towards, and so I will never be buying a fake bag again. And that is just a fact. It is also something that I wish I hadn't done before. Everyone makes mistakes as teenagers. That was mine. I didn't used to, but this year I definitely began anytime that I saw the advertisements for people commenting on my channels about replica bags. Replica is just a fancy word for fake. And I delete those comments now whenever I see them. I want no part of that on my channel whatsoever. There's also zero reason to ever carry a fake bag, and here is why. First off, if people don't know it's a fake, you are carrying a luxury looking bag that does make you a target in today's world. Let's be honest, carrying luxury things makes you a target. Why would you want to buy a fake item that then makes you a target for real theft? Second, having a real item, having a luxury item, having an item with LVs on it, with CCs on it, doesn't make you better. And I would way rather, and in many times have, when I cannot afford to get a luxury bag, but I need a bag for something, I go to TJ Maxx and I get a really nice quality Michael Kors, Coach, Kate Spade, Dooney & Burke bag for well under $100. And I get these beautiful quality bags that I can use and that I can enjoy. And it shocks me that people would rather spend their money on a fake item. I think it's way more important to have quality pieces, whether they have a fancy label associated with them or not. Now, another thing to say about fake bags, and the reason that I'm actually making this video, because I wasn't sure if I would have enough to talk about to make a video like this. The last time that I was at the Green Hills Mall in Nashville, which is where my last shopping vlog was, I saw so many fake bags, so many fake Louis Vuitton bags, so much so than I have ever seen before at the mall, walking around where the real Louis Vuitton store is. And I was blown away by that. But then the thing that really angered me was when there was a woman carrying what was very clearly a fake Kelly bag acting as though it was real and acting as though she was better than everyone else, that any customer was in her way, that sales associates should be honored to wait on her, that she was better than everybody else, really, really angered me. We are all people and we should be all treating each other with respect and kindness. They are people doing a job and doing a service, and why on earth would you ever act that way towards people, let alone act that way towards other customers who are just doing their own thing, buying their own items, and having nothing to do with you. Like I said, carrying a luxury item does not make you better than anyone else. If you think that, you are wrong. We are all people, and luxury goods or no luxury goods, it makes you no better than anyone else. Now, if you are then going around trying to pretend that a fake luxury item is real and therefore makes you better than someone else, like, who are you kidding? Who are you trying to fool? Who are you trying to impress? Because if you are trying to impress people who are impressed by luxury goods, chances are they know your item's fake and that you're lying. If they don't, you're still lying. And why do you want to impress people that are impressed by lies? Why do you want to impress people that are impressed by things that don't even matter, that aren't impressed by who you are as a person? There's no reason for that. Now, that being said, I feel different about dupes and about inspired pieces. And I'm going to talk about inspired pieces first. I think that fashion, if we're being honest, a lot of things in fashion are inspired by a lot of other pieces. And there's a difference between inspired and dupes. Dupes are things where like they are trying their best to copy as closely as they can the real thing without putting the real thing's logos on them, with having their own labels on them. The inspired are pieces that take inspiration from these classic, iconic pieces and make them their own. For instance, there is the Alma bag, and I don't know if the Alma bag was the first one in this shape or if it's just the most iconic, but so many handbag brands have a domed handbag with two handles, with the zipper, and occasionally with the strap, because it's a classic handbag shape. Another example, my Jack Rogers slingbacks in this bone white and black, and clearly I'm getting a similar look as the Chanel. It's not nearly as high quality of leather, but it's a comfortable shoe. It looks nice, and it gives me the look and the feel that I'm going for without having to have that Chanel price tag and that Chanel logo attached to it. Chanel does not own the monopoly on putting a neutral color with black, and the Chanel beige looks horrible against my skin tone. The Chanel shoes do not look good on my feet at all. These do. Now, an example of a dupe is going to be the Gianni beanie shoes that I tried on that are very, very clearly trying to look just like the Valentino rock stud sandals that I also tried on in my last shopping vlog. The thing about dupes, and the reason that I don't buy dupes, is one, I think that because I do have a lot of luxury items, people might assume that they were real, and I don't want people to misassume or think that I'm trying to misrepresent whenever I am wearing things. The other reason is they just aren't as nice. Even though I know it's more money, I would rather save up and get the nicer item at a later date than buy one that I know I'm not going to be happy with. And for me, I don't want to buy an item that looks that similar, because I'm always going to be like, but it's not the real thing in my head. And so for me, I wouldn't be able to enjoy it. Whereas like with inspired pieces, I get that look that I'm going for, I get it at a less expensive price, and I can feel a lot better about it. So for instance, I have two tweed jackets. This is my black Chanel, and this is my J. Crew. Now, both of these are tweed blazers. This one is probably more like a lot of the ones that we see Chanel coming out with now in the shape and the silhouette, as well as the multicolored tweed. But if you look at it in person, it's very clear that it is not Chanel. It has a Chanel feeling, but it's not Chanel. This one in person, even though it has no logo, is such a high quality material that it's very clearly, even if you didn't know immediately it was Chanel, you could definitely tell it was a lot nicer. The other thing to me about dupes inspired versus going with the real thing is that I am not a fast fashion consumer. I try to get very nice quality pieces that are going to last me a very nice long time. I don't want to get things, even if they're cheap, I don't want to spend $20 on something that one or two washes and I gotta throw it away. I just am not about that. I would way rather spend $200 on something and use it for several years than spend $20 and get a couple uses out of it. Now, for some people, they aren't comfortable doing that. They want to have those more items. They want to have the quicker items. They want to go with very trendy items, and so they want them to be cheap because they don't plan to use them forever. They plan to use them 1 or 2 times and then get rid of them. And I think that when it comes to dupes inspired versus real, you have to decide what pieces do you want to be those cheap trend pieces that when the trend is out in a couple of months you can get rid of, or what pieces do you want to have that you're going to keep forever. Because most people I know are not like me. They aren't always going for the classic pieces, because I almost never go for trend pieces. I'm basically always going for the classics, and so therefore I'm always going to be wearing those things. They're things that I can easily invest in, like for instance, the Walford bodysuit. That's something that I can wear for years and years. I have no problem investing. Whereas I know that for some people, they aren't really going to wear that, and so there's no reason for them to pay for that. They might have like one occasion, or maybe they want to try out to see if a bodysuit is comfortable, so they buy a cheap option first. And I get that. And I understand that there is going to depend on your style, on your comfort spending level, but I don't think there's anything wrong with buying dupes or buying inspired. I personally go more towards inspired, because if I'm not buying the real luxury piece, I want it to be more unique and be its own piece and not be something that I'm thinking, but it's not the real thing, I wish I had the real thing. And so I think that that's kind of that division that you have to think about mentally. Either way, I don't see anything wrong with these two. I do not feel that way about fakes. I think that buying fakes is wrong. I think that supporting that industry is wrong. And like I said, there's no getting around the fact that it is illegal. So with that, I hope that I have not offended anyone too badly, that I've not upset anyone too badly, and I hope that I've been able to get my point across well in this chatty video. But with that, I'm going to sign off and leave space in the comments for you guys to discuss down below. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, everyone. Bye.